I don't play. I'm very particular about teachers and education systems and what they tell students. Doesn't matter if you're black, purple, pink, blue, yellow,
green,
high yellow. I don't care. Teachers and academies and educations, what you tell your students is extremely important. So,
ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Once again, this is the Umpteenth View, and I am just Henry, the original, the always ready to proclaim, and this is the good cousin.
Boxer Match 2.0. That's what my name is for the day. Well, I'm gonna go grab my gloves real quick. I'll be right back in a second. Don't close your eyes.
Prime time money, mate. I'm playing.
Just messing. This is Rewise in the Flesh, good people. That's Wise for short. How y'all doing?
If the fists are ready to fly, here we go.
Hit them dead in the eye.
Float like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee. With a little bitty pee-pee.
Rumble, young man, rumble. All right, here we go. That was fun. Okay. That was actually fun just now. That was a good little bit.
What you got for us today?
Everyone gather round, gather round. You may be interested to know about our next subject. If you've read the thumbnail, you see what are going on. This is not in the past. This is current. This is recent. 2022. What is it? 2022? 2022? I don't know. Or 20 mil? I don't know. 2022. I'm not bilingual.
Oh, you're speaking
Spanish. I'm trilingual.
What you going on here?
I'm trilingual, not T-R-I-lingual, T-R-Y-lingual. I just try everything and see what works. Whatever the chips may fall. Now, I saw this in my Microsoft, what is it? What's the new one? Edge? So Microsoft Edge gives you some random feed. You select some stuff that interests you or whatever.
If you let them track you, yeah.
I
don't want them in my business.
I'm not a crazy guy. Okay?
I'm crazy.
I'm not trying to look up how to build BOMBs in my garage.
No, we ain't doing none of that.
There, all right, you mean? So, found a nice little story that might interest all of us
in this juncture.
Black Floridians. Black Floridians stand up. Okay, sit back down. On the BlackWallStreetTimes.com.
2 seconds. Let me pull it up so they can see it.
We have a new story here in Florida. So social justice would be their little subtitle there. Florida high school apologizes after telling student to cut locks for graduation. Notice how they didn't say dreadlocks. They didn't say dreads. They said locks. Way to go.
You got one thing, right?
Journalism. Ezekiel J. Walker. You know what you're talking about, bro. You know what you're talking about. Nonetheless, you see the picture of the young blood. And this is what happened. Florida High School. Wait. Yes, there we go. In yet another case of hair discrimination, Florida High School Abika Academy. I hope that's pronounced correctly.
Sounds like it.
Abika or Abika. Either way. Has issued a formal apology after telling a black honor student that he had to cut his locks in order to participate in the upcoming graduation. Jacob Rush, a senior and straight A student at the Pensacola Christian School, was looking forward to his graduation when his mother abruptly received a letter telling her, I'm gonna write you a letter, telling her that the locks he had in his senior photos had to be snipped or shortened, or else he would not be allowed to walk at the ceremony. Why is it always Florida, they say? Abika Academy reportedly credited the warning to the campus of Pensacola Christian College, saying it was their requirement. As a reminder for the graduates participating in the ceremony, we asked the gentleman to have hair tapered and may not come over the ears, eyebrows, or collar. No braids, dreadlocks, they used it there, buns. See, now that's quoting the Christian school,
yeah,
eh?
what the former letter
Oh,
said.
you want to include dread there, huh? You want to include dread there, huh? You want us to be dreadful? I'm sorry. I'm just tripping on that whole word. The whole controversy behind the word dread is hilarious to me. But I get it. But I don't care. Okay? That's my opinion. Now, no braids, dreadlocks, buns. A screenshot of an email from Mrs. Karen Northrup read. Mrs. Northrup.
What the deuce?
What you and Mrs. Clinton both need to get some better malware protection. Malware bites. Shout out to malware bites.
That's where it's at. I see.
I'm trying, dude. I'm putting these together, dog. All right, let's keep reading. My bad. After reading the email, Jacob's mother, Latrinda Rush, launched. That's a good one. Latrinda Rush launched a change.org petition to highlight the school's blatant discriminatory demands and garner support for her young king. Capital K they gave him.
I see you.
Hey man, Mr. Ezekiel, you keep on journalizing, you journalist. That's not how you say that. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, you went on a first name basis with her, Mr. Ezekiel? Okay. I'm gonna say Miss Rush. I'm playing. I'm gonna read it. Latrinda wrote in the petition, "My son has worked very diligently this year, and to get the news that his senior picture shows that he has locks disqualifies him from marching unless he cuts them. This is very inhumane. Hair discrimination, black people in all walks of life. Hair discrimination, black people in all walks of life." I think that's how it's supposed to be read. I do not know.
That don't make.
It really doesn't.
Yeah,
and I'm just trying to, you
He
know.
wrote it. It ain't your fault.
I'm just trying to pause in the right area. I don't know. It needs a comma or a semicolon, maybe. Sorry. My mother's a teacher. Back to it. Inhumane indeed. Even at an early age, black people's hair has been under a microscope. A 2021 Crown research study for girls found 53% of black mothers whose daughters have encountered hair discrimination say their child experienced it as early as 5 years old.
We've seen a couple examples of this.
That we have. Terrible. Anyway, that's how the French say it. Terrible. Anyway, did you know I was saying it French like the first time I said it? I'm trying.
I'm
Yet
not nursing the language lesson yet, though.
What? We gotta go to France, bro. We gotta go to France. Get some of them baguettes. All right. Yet it's even beyond kindergarten and or high school. Those same black students who will one day become workers, whether in corporate settings or blue collar, are often subject to employer hair discrimination. Even our stars aren't immune to the plight. In Hollywood, black actresses and actors have to fight for their hair to be represented correctly. Hit TV show Snowfall, that's a wild pick of shows. Anyway, hit TV show Snowfall is a prime example of black hair done well. Yet it remains one of the few. I guess because of all the afros. Our hair tells a story. Our story. In order to protect everyone from Hollywood celebs to A students like Jacob, federal laws have been proposed. Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair Act of 2021, or the Crown Act of 2021, would prohibit discrimination based on a person's hair texture or hairstyle if that style or texture is commonly associated with a particular race or national origin. Specifically, the bill prohibits this type of discrimination against those participating in federally assisted programs, housing programs, public accommodations, and employment. After the petition garnered over 37,000 and sparked outrage on social media, Abaca Academy took to Facebook on Tuesday to apologize for their insensitive rule. The Crown Act is currently being debated in Congress. You can join over 397,000 signatures and counting. They have a little link to let your voice be heard. Representative, is it Republican or Representative? Yeah, it is Representative.
Yeah.
Representative Ilhan Omar. Yes, Ilhan Omar presides today as the House debates the Crown Act. His tweet says, excited to preside as speaker tomorrow as the House debates the Crown Act. We co-led the bill with some other reps to ban race-based hair discrimination. Tune in. That's nice. They got a little expose on Ezekiel Walker, whom is an African-American gentleman, I wonder. Works for Black Wall Street Times. I don't know if it's a prerequisite. Do you think? Comment in the comments, please. Let us know what you feel. All right. Cuz.
Yes, sir.
Go back to the picture of the young blood, please. Your take on it. Your comments.
So, in the video with the little girl, we stress. I don't play. I'm very particular about teachers and education systems and what they tell students. It doesn't matter if you're black, purple, pink, blue, yellow,
green,
high yellow. I don't care. Teachers and academies and educations, what you tell your students is extremely important. So, I have one question, and we have to get this established right away. Is there a uniform at this school?
I'm assuming so. It's a Christian academy, so I mean, commonly maybe.
Okay. So if there's a uniform, I don't think there's a uniform. Here's why I don't think there's a uniform. Hold on. So if there was a uniform, as a dude going in a private school situation and having experience with dealing with folks at private schools, they're pretty cut and dry. As a parent, you get the sheet of paper and they tell you how to dress, so on and so forth. There's a uniform. They have an image, quote unquote. If the private schools where I grew up, he couldn't have dreads. They wouldn't allow him to grow his dreads out, right? So he wouldn't be taking this photo. This young black man wouldn't be taking this photo. So I'm gonna assume
had this long.
Yeah, they would have got rid of that long as soon as they got that long. He looked like he been growing that for years. So because there's no uniform, it just makes me more infuriated, right? Because you gonna tell this young man who's A+,
who's been bringing up your points, your scores.
I don't even care if he was a thuggy. I don't care about none of that.
Thuggy.
None of that, right? He's in your school, and he still did what he had to do to graduate. Let that brother rock his culture. Let that brother be himself. He made that decision to grow his hair out. I am never doing that. So if you grow your hair out, mad love, because I ain't got the patience, bro. He gotta get cut off. Cut it off. This young man is going against the grain accolades, and I hope his classmates don't look like him. Mad love to you, brother. Like,
straight up.
Mother,
little trender, you go, girl.
You do, man. Because
it's on it quick.
What's interesting is that they don't mention the father, right? So let's assume that it's just him, and he learning, and he just choosing to do his stuff as a young man that's raised without a father. So mad love to you, right? I really pray that he the only one that won't walk that stage looking like he does. Set that example. I'm with that. Learn to lead. Everybody else gonna admire you for it. For the education system, y'all bogus. For the mother, I put that kind of on you too. Unless, again, because maybe they didn't have nothing written. It was like that. If this just letter came out of nowhere, then she should turn up.
Oh yeah.
Turn up, especially if it's coming, because a lot of those schools you gotta pay for. So if you paying your money, oh, turn up. Act black, because they want you to anyway. So
let it rip.
You're paying money?
Let it rip.
This ain't no public institution. You're paying money? And you want to tell me my son can't graduate when he's met all the accolades and whatnot and exceptionally exceeded them? Oh, you got smoke.
Honors.
Smoke.
Because there will be fire. Because where there's smoke.
That's all I got. Y'all gotta excuse me again. I be trying not to get so emotional, but the education systems, I hold them dearly. They're so important. And so for nonsense like that, especially like I said, if you cut my daughter's hair, the bit where you said 5 years old, where we seen the little girls get.
I'm sorry.
I got smoked, G.
I'm sorry. You birthed that child?
Yeah. No.
Matter of fact, you tolerated the mother of that child. Have you gone mad? You lost what few moments you have remaining. My turn.
Man, give me strength.
I'm gonna what's the word called? Oh man. We're just gonna analyze based off of the picture. Watch how I do this, y'all.
You gonna break down.
Great point that my cousin brought up by saying this has been going. Those dreads did not grow that way overnight. Matter of fact, you can see that the color.
He got that Jalen Rose speed.
You can see that the color is at a different length, and there's more new growth. Okay, so there's time. That's the first analysis. Second, this young gentleman is, from what I have witnessed and seen, as far as what you can probably assume, as far as statistically, is one of probably, I'll say 10% of the population at that school that may be African American, amongst the 25% that, you know, is of some other,
according to census.
Well, we'll just say just a minority. We'll just say someone of ethnic background other than Caucasian, right? So, I believe that him acting, if not being influenced by or seeing those that are in the streets, I find it highly unlikely. I find it that they live a rather sheltered type of circle or lifestyle. The parents of such a young man working very hard, especially if paying tuition, which usually is an exorbitant amount of money. A whole nother, you could get a whole nother apartment or house every month. But nonetheless, your child's your education is important. So you got this child going there. They are a minority. And amongst minorities, especially in this day and age, because of black culture being the bee's knees. Being the one of the few black, or if not some people's only black friend, you get to be around a lot of things. Here's what I would say to that. He does not come across as an inner city Negro at all. Is that politically correct?
I guess.
He has no hood in him. I don't see it. Okay? So therefore, I don't believe he speaks even as I do. I think he speaks, you know, like just a little bit, like, you know, hipper, like, you know, it's like with the rest of the guys, you know what I mean? It's like just one of the guys, like, come on, bro, like for real. He might even play saxophone.
Put him on the street.
Just saying. So, with the people that he is majority friends with, like the majority of his friends are probably Caucasian. I can't stand when people mispronounce the word Caucasian. No, I'm a four-wheeler. Anyway, I'm
a four-wheeler.
Caucasian. So therefore, I am thinking, what major question should we ask? what are the hairstyles of his fellow Caucasian constituents in his grade? If anyone, if a now never not a now not a be a one.
Bowl cuts and pillow head.
Having those, what's the emo swoop where it starts up here?
Oh, looking like one of them K-pop superstars.
And they got a like this. Oh, no. And it's like, I wanna rock on, oh, because my emotions on the table.
What is going on?
Is that good? I don't know.
I don't know nothing about that. What is going on? I want to rock on.
Broken flower glass.
Kind of like Wayne's World. Is that the name of that movie?
I don't know, man. I'm just making this up.
You never seen Wayne's Worlds before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Party time, excellent.
Yeah,
that's where I got the.
Oh, I didn't know that was where that came from.
Yeah, that's where they do the little segue thing in the movie where they do like a what's the thing called? Back in the day, reminisce. I think back. What's the thing where you go back in a movie?
Flashback.
Flashback.
Okay.
See, he reads, guys. He reads. It's exhausting. That's crazy. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah, saxophonist, possible saxophonist. But nonetheless, but I'm venturing to think that there are several of these young men that have long hair themselves, that wear it over their face, just let it, it's like, 'cause that's the way it is, man. You gotta look past the lines, man.
Look mysterious, shroud the face a little bit.
Man. How about you look through the lines now, man? Ever heard that joke? It's the middle finger that's left. I'm not gonna do it.
I get it now as you explain it, but I don't know nothing.
So yeah, honestly, I think that they're being unfair and they're just trying to follow a fashion that they saw from before and try to see if they can just enforce it. I think they were testing it. I think that they failed. And I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that politics in some ways can help the Black plight. I think we need to take example from this even more so. For the Black culture to actually take politics even more seriously than before, because Black folk didn't pay attention to the economy that we had while Trump was in. We paid attention to the reality show that was Trump. But that's not politics. And what's funny is how the reality of Trump actually aided his politics, in the fact that his reality image was no nonsense, I'll fire you. Going into politics, no nonsense, I'll fire you. Guess what he did? He fired a lot of people. A lot of people. So I mean, things were good back then too. The unemployment rate went even lower than the Obama reign. We'll call it reign because he was a king. You gotta call him a king. You gotta call Obama a king too then.
That's fair.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
I'm a king.
That's definitely
you
fair.
a king.
Ain't no king.
We kings.
No sir.
Oh, you a king?
Nope, ain't no king.
You one of them king? You one of them king?
None
You
of
a
that.
king of comedy?
Nope. King of comedy. R.I.P. Bernie Mac.
Straight up, man. Man, one of the greats, boy. Bernie Mac, boy.
You know how I know Bernie Mac would have been a G in
man.
cancel culture, because Samuel Jackson is a G in cancel culture, so he wouldn't have cared about none of that stuff. Samuel don't give a dang about none of that. He still get his pockets.
Sam is like the Snoop Dogg of acting. Argue me that.
I don't disagree at all.
What? If Samuel L. ain't in your movie, well, rethink your box office stature. You know, just saying.
I don't give a dang.
He pulls crowds. No, all everybody want to hear him say is MF. or the D word. And I don't give a, I'm just saying. We're trying to keep it, keep it light here. Anyway, so you got a final thought on this?
I'm glad. I feel like this is a victory, right? I'm very curious to know. I'm very curious to know the requirements and stuff. Like I'm curious enough if it is indeed like one of those paying, like you have to pay to get into the school, and if I like the speculation. Let the
fun.
Yeah, let the comments.
It is fun.
Sit there and try to set that direction. And I hope this, like I said, I got.
Especially if he's playing the saxophone as he's graduating.
Walk proud.
And play Kenny G on him. Like, that's hilarious. Tell me that's not comedy right there. A black dreadlock no, he's not Rasta. A black dreadlocked saxophonist playing Kenny G at the high school graduation of the predominantly white school that tried to tell him to cut those locks.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know how this will turn out. Hopefully we can find a video of this your brother talking about the situation, or just partying like a rock star, or a saxophonist, or a revolutionary, so on and so forth.
If any of you guys find it, please,
big fact,
send it our way, please.
Let us know. I'd love that. I got nothing, boss.
Dude, honestly, like you said, this is a victory.
Yeah, good show for him.
One time for the black guy. So yeah, us locked, us lovely locked people. We got a lot that we go through. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a waiver. I'm cool. I'd rather brush my head and grow it.
Ooh, it's a patient road. It's a long road, but Nope. Being in tune with the universe with my antenna elongated.
Yeah, you can have that bad boy sticking up like alfalfa. I'm Gucci. I am not no locker.
Funny, my dad I told you my dad for the longest, he was like, ain't no Rasta in my house, ain't no Rasta.
No, you never told me that.
Yeah, my dad was big time against it. My mom was even more so against it.
Really?
But here's why: because they had a biased opinion about it. The biased opinion was mainly because in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, those that were dread were Rastafarians. Rastafarians are not Christians. They are of a different
idea,
religion, faith.
Okay.
They believed that Haile Selassie I, which was an emperor of Ethiopia, an actual person, was their deity, was their Jesus.
Okay.
So I did a little research right after high school. Well, right after the Navy. Right after the Navy. And because I wanted to know why my pops was all hard pressed about me not being
that's surprising.
So I let me find out what the Rasta is, so I could see if I could argue any of these points, which is what you should do.
Essential, big fact.
At all time, at any point in a junction where you want to argue something, research.
Big facts.
Please do, because it makes it so much easier to talk about it. So when I came to my father about it, I was like, "All right, Dad, this is what your concern was. I went through the whole what the stigma is as far as being Rasta. Immediately, people think that you're no good, and you don't do anything but pray all day and smoke weed, and that's it." No, but there's a lot of people that do nothing all day and smoke weed or some other stuff, and
that's true.
are no good to anybody. But Rastafarians that I've studied were benevolent people. They were village folk. They were communal. They were working to be in communion with the earth, to be able to say that we aren't overtaking, they're not overtaking, we're in balance. Then that was the woodsy dreads, or woodsy Rasta. Then there's the city Rasta. Those are more of the militaristic, the more militant, the more modern, so to speak, Rasta, which some people look at as not really Rasta, but at the same time, everybody's different. It still boils around smoking, and it still boils around Haile Selassie being the deity, being the God on earth. Thing is that he can study. Haile Selassie came and told him, don't deify me. He said, I'm not a deity. Now what deity you know? Jesus ain't never say, don't tell anybody I ain't Jesus. Don't tell them I'm the, don't tell them I'm the son of God. Tell them I'm the son of Herod, please. I don't know. Jokes. But it's just not, I don't know. Excuse me. The argument. So I made sure that I got back to the points. I laid them out for my dad. I made sure that he understood that I understood. This is what Rasta is. Daddy, I am not Rasta. I'm a man of faith. I believe. You know what I'm saying? This is what I believe. You taught me, matter of fact. Ha 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 ha. He's completely impressed by the whole bit. We start talking about religious principles just so that we can be better in this conversation. He does that. He's habitually helping, habitually preaching, habitually bettering himself, if not others around him. That's why I love my dad. Anyway, so at that point, he understood my mindset before even getting to grow my own hair. Because I'm a grown man at this point, and it wasn't that I couldn't just do what I wanted, you know?
Respect your father.
It was, you don't understand how much I respect my father. One of the people I hold in highest esteem on the planet. You can't introduce me to too many people better than my father. I'm gonna tell you that now. My mother is one. I'll give you one. But other than that, you're scarred. Y'all gonna be working hard. Just saying. So I say all that to say that I had to make sure that I expressed my father what this means to me. Always also to make sure that he understood that this doesn't go above my faith in the Almighty anyway. My faith even says that the Almighty may have just had dreads himself. He had, well, they're gonna say locks, woolen, and da-da-da-da, but have you ever touched wool? Wool is locked up until you do other stuff to it. Okay, just saying.
Put that work in there.
Just saying.
Detasseling and tangling.
Just saying. But nonetheless, discrimination of any kind is deplorable. Florida schools need to keep going in the trend that I see us trying to go in. For us to even have the bill up for Congress, outstanding. That's when you stick it to the man.
I see.
Because there was a big win for the business world and people who wear dreads to wear their locks to work, wear their natural hairstyles to work. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I think this one was kind of refreshing.
Good.
I think this one was a bit of a joyous video. Tell us what you think in the comments, guys. You know, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and then get those friends to subscribe, please. We're trying to get above 1,000. That's our first goal right now. So, you know, we got to get that goal to springboard off that to the next one. Y'all know how it is. You got anything? Well, here on the Umpteenth View, we all bid you adieu. To you and you, and the one in the back too. Yes, you.
Oh.